talk about that today. And I've been told that we're going to have a mixture of people who've never heard of blockchain and then people that are deeply into this and are experts of it. And so that's great. I'm going to start at the very beginning, and then I'm only going to talk for a half hour, and then we can have a half hour of questions. And so if you want to get into the very deep details of the math, I'm happy to go into that. But if you want to just talk about various business applications, I'm happy with that. And if you want to just say again, now what is this blockchain thing? That's great too. So we'll just go through this for a half hour. So what is Hashgraph? Hashgraph is a distributed ledger technology. It's a consensus algorithm that you can use for DLT. DLTs are systems where a group of computers are going to be sharing some information, and we don't trust each other. You don't particularly trust any given computer in the group to not corrupt the data, or to not change the data, or lie about it, or try to stop us from coming to consensus. But we do trust the group as a whole to not have too many bad players in the group. If you can't trust anybody, then you're out of luck. But if you have a system where we have a group of people, a group of computers, and we can trust that we won't have a large group of them ganging up on us to corrupt the system, but we don't trust any single one person, then what a DLT does is it allows us to come to an agreement, a consensus, on the order of our transactions. So we're going to all be creating these transactions that change our shared data in some way, that do something. And we're going to come to a consensus on what the order of that transaction is, of what all the transactions are, what order they are. We're also going to come to a consensus on a timestamp for each transaction. So for every transaction, we're all going to agree, here's the time at which it officially occurred. And in Hashgraph, it's actually going to be a good timestamp that we all contributed to. In some systems, one person can arbitrarily make up the timestamp, but everybody else has to sort of approve it in some way. But for Hashgraph, it'll be a good timestamp. So this is what a DLT is in general. Lots of people talk about blockchain. Sometimes when someone says blockchain, they mean DLTs in general. So in that sense, we're a blockchain. Other times when someone says blockchain, they're talking about a certain kind of DLT. DLTs that are built out of a chain of blocks on top of each other, connected to each other. We don't have a chain of blocks. So in that sense, we're not a blockchain. But we're a DLT. So we are doing the same thing that the other DLTs are doing. And if you're one of the people that uses blockchain to mean all those, the whole DLT world, then yes, we're a blockchain as well. But I like to make the distinction. We're not built on a chain of blocks. We're built on something else. So this is what Hashgraph is. It's a consensus algorithm. It's the way that the computers are going to talk to each other and come to an agreement on the transactions and on the other things. And Hashgraph is fast, it's secure, and it's fair. These are the three main things that we want in a